got like some sort of satanic laugh going on as he
Dude,
thinks he's found like the perfect subreddit or whatever.
I'm so excited to get to unpopular opinions this week because there's some good ones that I'm loaded up, locked and ready to go.
You're mulling over him.
Yeah,
he's like
dude.
chomping at the bit here.
It's so funny. It's just like I love when you get to an unpopular opinion and it's just like, oh my god, I've thought that a million times.
You know what's another really good subreddit is shower thoughts.
Oh yeah,
that one's really great. You should look that up.
Is that just like random shit that people think of?
Yeah, they think of it
stuff like that.
They think of it in the shower.
There was an old website. I'm sure it's still around. That was called like hideas.com.
Yeah, that was a great one.
So funny.
I used to love that website.
Funny.
That was like in high school.
It's amazing how so many people have like the same thoughts.
Yep.
And so many people probably like go through life thinking that there's some weirdo because they like have these weird thoughts. But then you find like these different threads and it's like, oh my god, there's like 10,000 people dedicated to this one subject.
Not even, dude. Like on Reddit, it's like
you can find threads dedicated to like a specific weird thing.
Look at this. 9 hours ago has 67,000. I just pulled up shower thoughts. The first thing that comes up: Google can find something from anywhere in the world, but Microsoft can't find something already on your PC. And the next one: people who work on weekends are legends. Without them, our weekends would probably be the equivalent to the apocalypse.
That's true.
Yeah, it is true. It's a great thought. Billionaires dying with billions in their bank accounts are gamers' equivalent of finishing the game with hundreds of healing potions. Okay. I'm just gonna pull up the top all time. Let's just see what
that one reminded me of how much I love weekends.
What?
Just weekends in general, dude. Not having anything to do is awesome.
I mean, I work today. Today's Sunday. I work today, but have you ever worked You worked weekends?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah,
for a while.
Restaurant, right?
No, I worked an office job on the weekends too. I work Saturdays.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty. What's going on? 20-somethings Layovers episode. We got some fun ridiculous headlines based on Grant's laugh at the beginning of the episode.
My headlines this week they're gonna challenge everybody intellectually.
Oh Jesus!
It's like intellectual humor, you know.
Really?
Just for the people that are on the wavelength, they'll know.
Oh my God!
The people that are up here with me on the wavelength, they'll know. I don't know if you'll be able to follow, but the people on the wavelength,
listen,
they'll know.
I'm on my own wavelength, bro. Everyone can see that.
That's cool. I'm just talking about the wavelength up here. High up. It's
where?
high up.
Up where? Describe the surroundings.
Clouds, dude. It's so high up.
Okay.
Anyway.
I think you're losing it, bro.
Anyway.
I think you're losing it. You're losing your touch.
How
was your week, Grant?
Long as fuck.
Yeah.
My week was so long past week.
You got a quick high and low for us? We're still doing those? We're still doing highs and lows?
Yeah, we could do it real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice and snappy.
I got observed at my job this week.
Oof.
My teaching. But so like when that happens is like a faculty member comes in and watches your class, and it went excellent. So that was good. That was good. My low, dude, I had horrible. I've been having the worst subway karma ever.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me or the subways are just getting worse and worse.
I feel like it happens in like droves. Where it will pile on you all at once with just you're missing.
I was late to like a million things this week, but not on my own. Like I wasn't late. I didn't like wake up late or anything. I got to the subway and just sits underground.
Yep.
Sits.
That's how I describe it to people is you can
every
leave,
time,
and you might either be 15 minutes early or you might be 45 minutes late, and you never know.
Well, I describe it to people, and I say that I leave at the same time every day, and it's totally up in the air when I arrive. I could be, I could get there on time.
Right.
And I always leave usually with like a 10 to 15 minute grace period. That's what I give myself. And even with that, sometimes I'll get there like 20 minutes late.
Right.
That's how awful the New York City subway is.
Well, and that's fair. And the New York City subway system is awful. But I was just in Boston for the week, and I'll tell you, as much as I love driving, traffic is just as shit.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I would prefer.
No, I know.
I actually prefer public transportation to driving.
Yeah.
I do. I love taking like trains and buses. I love being able to like sit there and
not focus on driving.
It needs to work.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
at least with driving, it's like, okay, yeah, traffic sucks, but at least like your car works.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
we have like the biggest subway system, but we're definitely not the most functional. We're on the
They just
least
didn't take
functional
care of
end.
it.
Yeah,
It's just
For-
falling apart.
for decades they didn't
Yeah.
take care of it.
It's just it's in a state of emergency right now. It's awful.
Yeah,
So well, I'm calling you out, De Blasio.
if he has anything to do with it,
I'm calling you out, Cuomo. It's probably more Cuomo.
I think it's more Cuomo.
I'm calling Cuomo out, dude.
He deflects everything about it, so
Well, it's
you got to
awful.
find someone to blame. It's terrible.
awful. They gotta do something. I mean, but I'm not like one of those people that's just like, you gotta do something about it without realizing like how big of a deal that is.
Well, you know what they are. The idea that they are proposing now is to just, if they do legalize marijuana in New York City, much of the money, the proposal right now is much of that money is going to go to try and revamp the subway system because it's going to bring in billions of dollars, supposedly.
Also, I'm super excited that it's warm out again because then I can just bike.
It's kind of warm out again.
It's warm enough to bike.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's warm enough to like go out. So, like I've gone for runs the past few days, and I can start biking again.
Yeah, I
which is
can't wait to
amazing.
bike. Oh wait, my bike was stolen.
I gotta
for
get my
the
bike
second
fixed.
time.
My bike tire just popped.
Oh yeah.
There's.
So you did your high and low.
I
right?
work with this person at work. I work with this person at work. That made up like a story about me, like for whatever reason she thinks that at some point like I got in a bike accident. And I never did. And whenever I tell her I'm biking, she's like, "Be careful." I'm like, "I've never gotten in an accident."
Put on your helmet, Grant. You don't wear a helmet when you bike, do you?
No, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do every single time.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a
good
helmet.
Samaritan.
Yeah.
Look at you. Nice guy. All right, my high and my low. My high this week actually happened today. I was teaching, and I dropped my full-time schedule teaching, so I only teach these kids 1 day a week. And some kids will come in, and I haven't seen them in months. And one kid saw me, and I didn't realize that I hadn't seen him in months. And he saw me, and he was like looking at me with this like jaw agape. And I was like, Colin, like, what's the matter, man? He's like 9 years old, you know? But he's like looking at me, and he's like, Mr. Keith? I was like, yeah. He goes, is that you? It's like, yeah, man. And he comes up, he's like, oh my God, you're back. And he comes up and he gives me like a big hug because he hasn't seen me in months. I was like, oh, that was a really like cool moment. It's like those moments are like when teaching is really, really nice. You know, when you get like appreciation like that from students. So that was a nice moment. The low was a few days ago when I went home and I got in an enormous argument with my father, like massive blowout. And I mean, there's not really much more to it than that I want to say, other than it really sucks when you get into a blowout with a family that you haven't seen in a while.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you feel so guilty afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow. And especially because, like, then the next day I had to get right back on a bus
Yeah.
to come back here. So it's like, wow,
Just
we left
fighting
it.
in general with family.
It just sucks. Like, especially because it was over something stupid. And it's like, why do we do this? You know, why do people fight over get angry over ridiculous things?
Oh, I agree with that 1,000%. But let me tell you, that has not helped me ever, having that mentality, because I will not engage people in fights. Like, I'm not combative, and also I don't like.
Well, there's a difference between
get
fighting and debating, right? Like, because they're
well,
totally different.
but what I'm
things.
saying is, like, there are people, like, there are times where, like, I've been in a conversation or, like, in some sort of dialogue with somebody where, like, they wanted to be in a fight with me, and I'm just not that kind of person.
Yeah.
And that honestly makes matters worse. It's like, if people want to fight, like, they're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Whether I'm like the other party. So what I'm saying is, like, even if you like try to take the stance of like, oh, I'm not a fighter, like, why do we do this silly things? I'm not gonna fight anymore. Doesn't help.
No,
in my
it doesn't.
experience, it like doesn't help.
No, but like we all need to learn to like take a breath sometimes. You know,
I agree.
Like,
That's how I approach almost every combative situation.
Yeah, bite your tongue.
I'm like pretty good at that. But what I'm saying is, like, it's rarely helps.
Well, it helps because no one knows how to do it.
And I will say that to the person. I will say, like, hey, I think, like, you're a little...
Yeah, but then what they
But
do
then
is they take a breath.
pissed.
Then they take a breath. They go, and they go right back into it.
But then they'll like they're like you know, they're seeing red, and like you say, like, hey, I think you should maybe like relax. Not that big of a deal. And they're like, I don't need to relax.
Yeah.
You know, like
who
that.
you telling to relax?
Right. Oh, you think you're so cool headed? It's like, well, kind of, yeah.
You're the one yelling.
Literally every person I've ever dated in my life.
Everyone?
Not well, yeah, pretty
Are you about
much.
to throw your current girlfriend under the bus?
No, but everybody, but yeah, I
But
mean,
everyone else. Wink, wink. Okay.
not just girlfriends. It's
No,
not
there are a lot
unique
of people that
to
are
ladies. It's just
hot-headed, dude. People are really
it's
hot-headed.
not unique to the ladies. It's just
Yeah.
it's just
Are you trying to tell us something, Grant? Trying
It's
to lay
not
down
unique.
some.
not unique
Listen,
to the ladies. It's just
This could be interpreted. This is going to be on Huffington Post tomorrow, interpreted in multiple different ways.
yeah. Well, that brings us to headlines then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
This could
does.
be the headline of the week.
Oh shit! Grant says ladies. but
Headlines.
Ladies.
Slim Shady.
No, enough with this. Man. Enough with this.
I see you winding and grinding up on the pole.
I think Akon. We should ask Akon if we can use him for the intro music.
No, we should get him on the podcast, dude.
We should get Akon. I would love to know what Akon is up to. It's
Imagine if he came on the podcast, he was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
should-
Like he talked like that.
We
He
should
was like,
put an
"I'm
autotune on his voice."
Akon on 20-somethings," and
call
like
him-
everything. He was like, "I don't really like the state of U.S. politics right now, but there's nothing we can do, Akon." And every time he stopped talking, he was like, "Akon."
I want to know what his real name is. What is Akon's real name? Like, cause what could we, what
I
would
looked
we
up his
call him?
album on one of the last episodes, and it was Convicted.
Oh wow, this is his
So-
name. Ready? That's part of his name. Akon. That's one of his names. He has like 6 names.
Oh, Jesus. why?
Aliyahuin Damala Badara Akon Thiam. Damn. Place.
All right, listen.
Hold on. That's his full name, and then it goes place of birth, St. Louis.
Akon. Abrala dila gosa sneaker alert. Imagine if he didn't make like a stage name, and every song he was like, what is it?
Aliyahuin Damala Badara Akon
Honestly,
Thiam.
that would be badass.
It would be cool.
Honestly, he should have done that because Akon, it's all right, but that would have been awesome.
Akon is a cool name. Akon is a cool name.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to some headlines, Grant.
all right, you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
You know what? I'll start on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up one of my. I'm gonna pull up the one that I used for the headline.
Okay.
I mean for the title. Wait if it loads. Let's see if it loads. There we go. All right, Grant, you ready for this?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yawning
wow.
is you're a little
Nice
boring,
yawn.
man.
You're
waiting
super
for you to
interested.
go. Falling
You're
asleep
super
over here.
interested.
All right. Go.
Lincoln the Goat elected mayor of small Vermont town.
That's awesome.
So they elected a 3-year-old Nubian goat.
That's happened like a few
I know. I've
areas.
heard of it up, but it never gets any less ridiculous.
So what I'm wondering is like, does this just show like how useless the job of mayor is?
Well,
is that what's happening here? Like, I know it's quirky and silly, like, oh, we elected an animal, but at the same time, a little terrifying.
Well, it's fun. Wait, hold on.
Like, what does
hold
a
on,
mayor
hold on.
actually
This is the
do if a
sub-headline.
goat can do their
She
job?
beat out cats, dogs, and a gerbil named Crystal to become mayor of Fairhaven.
Wow.
So they clearly take this role as a joke, obviously. But
what I'm saying is,
bigger picture, yeah, exactly what you're saying. Bigger picture is like, is this how we like treat executive positions? Are they really worth like the intelligence of a goat?
who's gonna do that job? Is the goat? The goat's not doing the job.
No, I mean, so there is
Also,
no job.
like, was there
That's the thing.
was there
There's
a
no
mayor
job.
ever? And if so, what was he doing that a goat is now taking over his job?
Wait a minute, hold on though. Isn't a mayor? Aren't you only supposed to have a mayor if you're a city?
No,
No,
there's a mayor in my hometown.
you sure? And
Yep.
it's not the city of Goshen; it's the town of Goshen.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
positive.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm glad my town does not have a goat as its mayor or a gerbil. A
All
gerbil
right.
would be cool.
Hold on, I gotta figure out how I want to.
Order this one.
Yeah, let's see.
He was bragging for like 30 minutes before this because he claims he found this new website that's giving him a gold mine.
Oh, this one's good and relevant because people will know what this is talking about. So this past week, Instagram and Facebook went down like
Mhm.
one day,
Mm-hmm.
and during that time, well, I'll just read the headline, then we'll get into it. Facebook and Instagram outages send surfers to Pornhub for tentacle porn. Ah.
What?
So, on Wednesday, I'll read a little bit of this for everybody. On Wednesday, Facebook went down, Instagram too. The internet collectively stared at the blank pages of its non-existence, shrugged, and headed on over to Pornhub instead. This is crazy. Pornhub received a traffic spike of 11% and then up to 19% above average.
No way.
And when people got to Pornhub, searches for Instagram and Facebook on Pornhub respectively went up 323% and 221%, which means that people, at least this is how I'm interpreting it, people are getting off just from the fact of videos on these websites. So they have like a fetish with like videos or images on Instagram, specifically on Instagram and Facebook, because people were going to find like...
What do you mean? Hold on. Video? Are you saying someone's taking a screen grab of...
No. What I'm saying is like, if you go on Pornhub, there's porn that is like Instagram themed or like Facebook themed or whatever.
What does that mean though? Like, are they like? Do they have a big F?
What I imagine it is it's like videos like of like influencers or people that like are very revealing, and they just take the videos off Instagram and put them on Pornhub. But what I'm saying is like there are people that prefer that.
Oh, I see.
So
okay, I see exactly what you're saying.
They went to Pornhub and they just tried to find the same videos that they would have been searching for on Instagram. 323%.
Yeah, I feel like Instagram would be much more there.
Well,
than
221% for Facebook, 323% for Instagram.
Wow.
But like that's so
But
funny.
that doesn't explain Facebook. What the hell are people searching or looking at when they search Facebook on Pornhub?
There was plenty to keep these searchers busy. Pornhub tells CNET there are 2,500 videos available with Instagram in the title. That all seems pretty much in line.
Yeah.
But Pornhub also noted a 308% increase in searches for tentacle porn.
Did they say where it was from?
In case you don't know what this is, check out our explainer on monster porn. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
Isn't that like isn't it like a dildo that's like looks like a tentacle? I think I've come across this.
Oh God, Keith.
No, I'm kidding.
Hold on, let's see.
I'm pretty sure that is what it is.
I'm finding it out right now.
Are you looking it up on Pornhub?
No.
Oh. You should have said yes, even if you weren't.
Season mock, but taken by the tentacle monsters, erotic, if romance ebooks. The Business Insider.
What is it, Grant?
I don't know. I have to what they link to does not. No, I'm just gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Because what they link to was not a.
Oh.
Okay, Urban Dictionary. That's usually pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have it.
Okay.
Somewhere
Any of a wide variety. Oh God. Any of a wide variety of primarily Japanese hentai anime films dealing with demons or space creatures with multiple appendages, not unlike tentacles.
Nope, not what I thought.
Many are either naturally occurring shapes, i.e. round with suckers, or oftentimes have genitalia, usually of the masculine variety.
What in the... Dude, people are into some weird shit, man. What caused that spike?
Well, there's another one, too. It's a form of erotica where women are satisfied by their favorite form of octopi or other mollusk.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Generally, these creatures have 8 muscular arms equipped with 2 rows of suckers. Oh. Dude, what is wrong with people, man?
Yeah, people are looking
What's
up some
funny
weird
is like
shit.
a lot of people's their sexuality is imprinted from a young age. So a lot of people's like sexual preferences are based on like little things that happened to them while they were developing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like did you like play with an octopus when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like were you infatuated with like sea animals? I don't know. All right. Next one. Let's see. What am I going to do next? I'll do this one. Woman almost dies from stroke triggered by oral sex. So she was her man, whoever it was, this British woman, her man was going down on her, and she was about to orgasm, like just about to orgasm. And I guess she went into this thing, which I guess can happen like to anyone at any time, which makes this crazy. It's called a transient loss of consciousness. So she just went out for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, when you go out, like, being out for a certain amount of time is bad, right? Like, once you get past, like, 15 seconds, you can start to get brain damage if there's no oxygen or blood going to the brain. That's how you die, right? So she was out for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, I don't know if that means that there was no oxygen going to her brain, but either way, not a good situation for this woman. So her partner was just sitting there for 2 to 3 minutes waiting for her to wake up, and she didn't. So he took her to the hospital, and she ended up going through a CT scan because she woke up with a headache, and she had a stroke while this all was going on. So not only did she go pass out, she then had a stroke.
That's awful.
But it says where is it at the end? Activities that involve sudden increases in blood pressure and sexual activity is well described as a precipitant. Studies with intra-arterial monitoring during coitus demonstrate that during sexual activity, blood pressure as well as heart rate is very labial, with particular rises during orgasm. So anyone can, if triggered in the right way at the right time and your blood pressure is at the right point, you can have like severe things happen to you as you go into an orgasm. So just keep that in mind when you jerk off. People have
to run, keep their hearts healthy. That's what people have to do cardio, keep their hearts healthy. I'm convinced that like that running and sleeping is the cure to everything.
Well, but like also a ton of strokes are caused by diet, by plaque forming in your blood, right?
Well, diet too, diet as well.
But that all comes back to heart health, which is exactly what you're saying. Yeah, cardiovascular, making the heart strong.
There's like an advertisement on my computer now from from Urban Dictionary that just says get tentacle porn on a mug for your dad.
Yeah, you're gonna start your Instagram is gonna start being like, it's gonna start to get weird, man.
I got you this mug. Oh, it says tentacle porn. Yeah.
Look it up.
Okay.
Final.
Okay. So all right, hold on. Let's see. Okay. So, today's sad news. Half of men and almost as many women don't know where the vagina is.
Ooh, I have a story about this, bro.
Okay, so let's read a little bit.
Go ahead, and then I have a story.
We can see that the vagina is a body part that's a little mysterious, but we were pretty shocked by the results of a new UK survey of 2,000 adults, which found that 50% of men can't identify the vagina on a diagram. Even more surprising, a similar survey conducted last year found that 44% of women couldn't find it either.
What? Hold on, how old are these women? They're women, right? They're not.
They must be adults. They're saying they must be adults.
What?
I imagine they have to be at least 18 years old.
44%.
Well, okay.
Wait, that dude. Hold on. Where are these numbers coming from? That's ridiculous.
More than half of men polled said that they would not feel comfortable discussing gynecological health issues with a female partner. 17% said they know nothing about the topic.
Wow.
Huh.
Jesus.
I think that this is the image that they showed them without the labels.
It's like, okay.
So that kind of makes, but still,
you should know like what that is. If you haven't seen that image before, like, come on.
Right, like I'm looking at it right now, and I know what most of those things are.
Right.
Wow.
Also, as a female, you should 100% know what that is, especially that diagram. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we need better sexual health education. We've talked about that before on the podcast, I think.
Maybe. I don't know if we have. But yeah, we definitely do, dude.
That's nuts.
We definitely do.
44%.
What was your story about that? You said you had a funny story.
Oh, yeah, I have a story. So I know a nurse. This is really ridiculous. I know a nurse one time that had a patient that came into the ER complaining of really bad pain because she was trying to have sex. And so but she went to the ER.
Oh, yeah. Have you told me this before?
Yeah, I think I have told you this. So she went and, like, checked her out and everything, and she was like, there's nothing wrong here. And she's like, and she's like, it doesn't even, like, look like you had sex, you know? And I might be botching this story, but basically what happened is the whole time they were, and I guess they were doing this for a while because they were trying to get pregnant. He was putting it in her ass and not putting it in the right hole. I'm like, come on, man. Like, how do you mess this up? It seems like it's something like from The Onion.
Well, the question to that is, is he guilty in this situation? Like, did he know what he was doing, the guy? That's the question. Is he guilty in this situation?
Maybe.
Did he know what he was doing?
He might have been seeking the pleasures. I don't know.
Seeking the pleasures. Tentacle porn. Anyway, all right.
Anyway, so this is my third one?
Yeah. I have like a third one that's related to sex, but I don't think I'm going to use it because it's like been too much porn and
we did
vagina diagrams.
I don't know what happened.
Stuff.
I don't know why that's.
Also, I would just like to take note that I got Gianni. Everybody knows Gianni from the Bad Movies podcast. I got him to block my phone number today.
Because you were sending him.
Go ahead. No, I'm not going to say what I sent him.
Okay.
But I sent him something. Well, he's been sending me that Momo photo.
Yeah.
Every single day, like multiple times a day. And I was like, I'm going to get this kid back. Right? So I sent him the most disturbing thing I could find. You know what it is. I'm not going to say it on air, but I sent him the most disturbing thing I could find. And he responded with, "I'm blocking your number." Oh and I haven't heard from him since.
You tried texting him again?
I texted him a couple times afterwards. I was like, I thought you'd be into this.
Did it go through?
Yeah.
Oh, then he didn't block you.
I don't know what happens when you're blocked by somebody.
No, it won't go through. I don't think.
Whatever.
Anyway. All right, I'm trying to decide right now which one I want to do. They're not like super crazy. Well, they're crazy, but they're not my crazy, if that makes sense. What I normally do. I'm gonna go with this one. 2 passengers in China detained for throwing coins into plane engine for good luck. So they stood outside the plane. Like I said, it's not that crazy, but I'm just like thinking about it. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You're about to get on this plane. You're going to kill everyone.
Also, like, that's not asking for good luck. That's going to lead to awful luck.
Yeah, like I hope we don't die. Like, what are you thinking there? People need to smarten up, man. It's like, I want to have hope for the world, but when people do shit like that, it's like, we're all doomed.
Yeah, that's funny.
We're all doomed. Anyway, it was a short one, but go ahead. What's your third one?
Okay, so I have one that's crazy, and I have one that's just like, what should I do? You can tell me. Should I do the crazy one, or should I do the one that's like,
dude? I want to hear the crazy one.
Okay,
I'll
do the crazy one. All right, Slovenian woman's hand sewn off in insurance fraud. Do you see this one?
Yeah.
So this woman,
not sewn off, sawed off.
It says. Sawed off. Yeah. So she, with a saw.
Yeah.
A 21-year-old woman and a relative have been detained. First of all, did you really have to detain her? She just sawed off her hand.
Right.
But face up to 8 years in prison if convicted.
But
accused of
her family's in on it.
Yeah, cutting off her hand with a circular saw with the help of her family to make a fraudulent insurance claim. So she cut off her hand.
Mm-hmm. Did you read what the reward would be for it, though? She would have gotten $430,000.
Yeah, but you cut off your hand.
I know. Well, but the funniest part about this whole thing, right, is because if that hand is gone, if she loses that hand, it's a permanent disability, and she now gets to claim disability for the rest of her life. But the reason that this is all now being come out as portrayed as fraud is they went back to her house. And they found the hand at her house.
Oh my!
So then they brought the hand to the hospital and then sewed it back on. But now she has like not full function of her hand. So this girl got totally screwed. She's like,
so it's sewed back on.
Yeah, they sewed it back on, and she's like getting function back, but that hand's never gonna be the same. So now she has the hand. She doesn't have the money. She's going to prison.
Jail.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that backfired. Wow.
Yeah, like real bad.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, and then real quick, I'm going to read this other one.
Okay.
That's just the Kremlin criticizes Ukraine for breaking friendship treaty after Russia invaded country, which is so Russian.
It's a real headline. That's not like The Onion or anything.
This is on Newsweek.
Oh my God.
So it's like
Yeah.
that. How Russian is it to like invade a country and then be like, you're
Why
not
aren't
being
you-
nice to
Yeah,
us?
why aren't you happy?
Yeah.
We invaded you. Why aren't you happy?
Why would you break our friendship treaty? They say as they like
As they-
literally annex Crimea.
Yeah, as they like say, nope, you're ours.
So
Oh, man.
Russian, dude.
Yeah, that is Russia. They're scary, man. They're scary people.
Yeah.
Have you ever have you ever talked to a Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They're not really scary. Their accents are just like so
They're monotone.
serious. They
Yeah.
said to like Americans, I feel like they just sound really serious.
Well, one thing I heard about
But like Russians aren't scary. Like Russian people that I know are awesome.
No, but one thing I've heard about people in Russia is they say exactly what they mean,
Yeah.
right? So like if you do something wrong to them, they're just gonna say that like, what are you doing? You know, like they're just
Yeah.
gonna come right out and be very confrontational.
Oh, they're blunt.
They're very blunt. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So they just don't give a.
But that's
fuck.
why this is so funny because like this is them being blunt. Like,
Yeah.
in a very funny way. They're just like, what? You don't like?
Yeah,
Like they're just like,
what's wrong?
we have this treaty right here, and you're not bringing me muffins anymore.
Come, Russia, come to Russia.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Unpopular opinion time. The favorite time.
Okay,
of the
I have
week.
one that I want to start out with because it's like something that like for so long.
You got a
I've
head
thought.
start on me, so you start.
Okay,
I haven't
so
looked at
my
these
first
yet.
one is we're starting unpopular opinions. I feel like we need to make that segue clear,
Yeah,
dude.
transitional line.
Yeah.
Boom. Unpopular opinion. Go.
Okay, ukulele covers are fucking dreadful.
I agree,
Dude.
100%. I
Okay,
hate
so-
it. Listen, you might have a beautiful voice. That's fine.
No, but here's the thing. I'm making this stat up, but I imagine it's accurate.
Yeah.
80% of ukulele covers
Yeah.
are partnered with a woman who sings like
Right.
this
Right.
with a raspy voice. That's definitely not the voice they actually sing with.
Mhm.
And they just want to sound hipster.
You know the other thing about the ukulele too, though, and this is like no knock because I get it.
Hey,
People are trying.
learn the guitar. That's what it is.
Well,
it's
yeah, it is. You're right. You're very right.
It's they don't want to. Well, honestly, I know that I've actually spoken to girls about this before, who prefer the ukulele because the guitars are too big for their hands.
Yep.
But get a smaller.
Get a mini guitar. Get a mini
Yeah,
guitar.
they
There's
make
tons
them.
of minis. Yeah, there's. I
You
have
have
a
the
mini.
wrong guitar.
There's
you
a
have,
mini right there.
You have the wrong guitar.
But another thing about
You
the
wouldn't buy
ukulele thing
fucking
too, right?
pants that are too big for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fair point.
Yeah.
They don't. The strumming pattern in 90% of those songs is all the same. It's
Well, most
like,
ukulele songs they do that same chord progression, which is like G,
It's all 1 4 5
G,
1.
D, E minor, C,
C,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like
It's like
the
what you
same
first learn on
song
the
over
guitar.
again, over and over again. Oh my god,
That's a
they're
great unpopular
awful.
opinion. That's a
They're
great
so
one.
bad. Just if you're gonna do that, don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
Delete it.
Oh,
Delete them. And if you have any up, delete them.
Oh, you really are.
Delete them,
You're
dude.
digging into them, dude. You're digging in. You want to talk
Oh wait,
more?
he has an example of what he's talking about too. Hold on, I'm gonna click and see what it is.
He has like a video.
Yeah.
Oh no.
People are like posting. What
Ooh,
is
I've got some good ones.
Oh my god, this is some guy who did a parody of it.
They probably can't hear that through the podcast, but
Wow. Okay. Well, that's funny. Everybody check out Gus Johnson's "White Girl Ukulele" song
That's
because it's
great.
exactly what we're talking about. Okay. What is that noise? Where is that
oh
coming
my
from?
god, dude. That's fucking offensive.
What?
Oh, should I read this?
Probably not if that's what your reaction is to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna read that. I mean,
I
it's just
had-
like it's just not true, and it's like you're an asshole. Is pretty much what it is. It's not anything gross. It's just you're an asshole, really, sort of thing.
Okay, so I have another one
Okay.
actually that's relevant because we were talking about this right before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So assaulting someone because they hold different views than you, even if the assault is minimal and without permanent damage, is horrible and shouldn't be encouraged. And they reference the egg that was smashed against the Australian guy's head here.
Repeat again.
Assaulting someone because they hold different views than you, even if the assault is minimal and without permanent damage, is horrible and shouldn't be encouraged.
I agree with that. But no, I agree with that. I mean, they're using the egg example.
Yeah, the politician was recently egged.
It's funny because
and that act is currently being praised by all of Reddit and many media companies.
Yeah, well, I saw that before I knew anything about it. I was just talking about this before we started. I saw that GIF and I had no idea what it was. I was like, oh my god, that kid's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is that guy? So I looked him up, and then I read what his statement. And if you read his statement. The guy that got egged, if you read his statement, he is an appalling human being.
I'm sure.
But at the same time, you can't accept,
well, here's my problem with that is when you do something like that.
You open up
and the media backs you. Now you've set a precedent that that's okay in any circumstance.
Exactly.
And so now, let's say somebody on the other side does that to a politician that's preaching something you believe in.
Right.
And now somebody eggs the back of their head while they're doing an interview, you cannot say anything about that.
But they will.
Right. But what I'm saying is, like,
you shouldn't say anything about
it. And it weakens your overall, like,
yes.
It makes, and there's not really a long-lasting effect.
No.
Like, people will buzz about it for a little bit, but you know what would probably have been better? Writing a response.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about whatever this guy said, I didn't read it, but logically working out and explaining or making a video talking about why what he said was so wrong and invalid.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because now you're spreading like actual information and discrediting him, whereas like just throwing an egg at the back of his head,
right?
While it's funny to watch, it's like that doesn't do anything, and now he's probably going to jail. This kid.
What's ridiculous about it too is if you watch the kid, right? Because I only saw the GIF, and he started with his phone up in the GIF, ready to go.
Yeah.
But we watched the full video beforehand, and he had no phone there. So this kid he wasn't like videoing the response. He pulled his phone up when he decided he was going to actually go through with the egg thing because he wanted a video to go viral of him smashing an egg on this guy's head.
Yeah.
That's all it was really for, and that's apparent through the way that he was using the phone. It's like, I'm going to video myself so that I can get views.
Right, like if it was just for, like, to express anger over an issue, he wouldn't need to be recording it himself. Right. There are other people recording.
Exactly. There's other cameras there, dude. Like, we're all going to see you.
So, honestly, I agree with that because I think that, one, the moment that you turn to violence, the discourse is done. Like, there's no dialogue after that. It ruins everything. Mm-hmm. Everything falls apart as far as, like, having a constructive discourse.
Right. Well, because now talking it can't be an answer anymore. Right. Because we've already gone past that.
Right. Exactly. And so
we've already decided that doesn't work.
That's why I feel like it's just very, very silly, in my opinion.
All right. Ready for this one? See if I'm... Well, okay, I'm going to read both of these because they kind of go hand in hand. They're both about the same thing, and they're right next to each other. The first one is... The phrase drugs and alcohol is harmful as it promotes the idea that alcohol is not a drug.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've heard people make that claim before.
I've never heard that.
I agree with that because it makes it I mean, that's the problem with alcohol generally, right? It falls in line with the rest of our cultural understanding of alcohol, which is it's accepted, it's something a lot of people do, therefore its harm is not as destructive as other substances. Mm-hmm. And separating it within that phrase absolutely is in line with our cultural understanding of alcohol.
Think about when you were a kid, right? Like when you were growing up and you were first learning about like what alcohol is and like, you know, what happens when you drink and what happens when you do drugs. And they're two totally separate things. Like alcohol is like an adult juice. You watch people that are adults drink all the time. Yeah. It's totally normalized. But as soon as you hear the word drugs, it's like, you remember like the old commercials, like the egg frying and the frying. This is your brain. Psh, this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, no, this is also your brain on alcohol. It's the same thing.
Right.
You know, and in fact, it's actually worse on alcohol, which brings me to the second one.
Alcohol's so bad for you.
The second opinion is alcohol is one of the worst drugs and shouldn't have the social acceptance that it does. And I agree with that 100%.
You know, alcohol, to my understanding, is it's one of the only substances that you can actually die from the withdrawals.
Yeah.
And like it's
from the withdrawals, yeah.
And like that in and of itself is like enough for me to be like, yeah, it's totally one of the worst drugs if it has that sort of impact on your body.
Right.
Like I know like opioid withdrawals and things like that. Like people have like a week, 2 weeks of hell, and I know it's difficult. I'm not belittling like getting off of drugs like that.
No.
There are people that I know in my life that can't stop drinking. They have like their doctor, when they want to stop drinking, but their doctor tells them that they need to be safe and they have to have a beer like when they need it because they'll start getting like, what is it called? Like delirium tremors. That's what it's called. And like they'll start shaking and stuff. So they're prescribed to drink when that starts. Dude. But they have to like wane them. So it's really bizarre, but like it's so bad and they have to do that because they can die.
Right.
From the withdrawals
so
quite
fucked.
Easily.
That's so fucked.
And when you think of it in like those kinds of terms, it's like,
I think of it, it's like, when did we decide that? I mean, I know when we did, but what made us decide? I guess it's the fact that we drink it, so the idea of a liquid makes it seem less harmful, and also it's kind of, how would you put, kind of slow action effects. Like it takes a bunch of alcohol to kind of really feel the effects. But like, when did we decide that was okay and these ones are not okay? Like, look at the evidence. Honestly, as human beings, like, we're always told to look at evidence. Look at how many fucking people die from alcohol. There's your evidence. Look at how many people die from something like marijuana.
Well, I was actually just listening to a podcast that was like, imagine if, so like 500,000 people a year roughly die from deaths related to smoking cigarettes. Imagine if something else like more tangible caused that amount of deaths.
It would be like a crisis.
Imagine if it was a terrorist attack.
Oh my God.
Where 500,000 people died.
Right.
Oh, we would go and obliterate whatever country did it.
500,000 people
Meanwhile, we have these corporations that are pushing this on our public that are doing it. They're responsible for it. So we would obliterate an entire country if they did it. But we have corporations within our own borders that are killing millions of people every year, and we do nothing about it.
It kind of shows how much our country, because other countries are different, right? London is totally different. They're very much they're trying to push against cigarettes and everything, but it shows how much our country values the dollar more than it values the life.
Yeah.
Totally. It's very apparent in that scenario right there.
Well, apparently this is all coming from a podcast I just listened to, but apparently the company that manufactures fentanyl. Was spending money on lobbying to keep marijuana illegal.
Of course they were. I could have guessed.
Think about how crazy that is, and that just demonstrates exactly what you were saying. It's like, really, like there are people dying, like hundreds of people dying every single day from this drug that you manufacture. And you're spending money out of your pocket to lobby against something that is going to lower the sales of your product
and something that is going to help those people.
Right.
You know, something that actually helps people. It's so fucked, man. I mean, and then you think about like the people behind these doors for these companies, like the company that is producing fentanyl. It's like, do you know anyone that could benefit from marijuana? How do you live? Like, how do you go day to day knowing that you are taking away something that could help someone that you know?
Right. And it's great. And something that has been shown to be so safe.
Right. But and then also on the flip side, then giving this thing to people that is going to literally kill them and being like, oh no, it's medicine.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Anyway, alcohol.
Do you have anything lined up?
For what?
Do you have another unpopular opinion?
No, I don't. Not yet. Let's see.
I have here's one that I actually just got into this week. Tetris is more fun than Fortnite. Dude, started playing Tetris at work. Can't stop.
Dude, have you heard about there's a new Tetris it's Battle Royale Tetris.
What does that even mean?
So Fortnite is Battle Royale, okay?
Yeah.
So what that means is everyone drops into this one place and plays against each other until you have one winner.
Yeah.
Everyone's against each other on a big map. Tetris, it's the same thing. Everyone starts the game at the same time, and you have to be the last one standing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like the most fun version. I don't know what it's called, but I guess it's like the most fun version of Tetris ever. You have old people now playing Battle Royale Tetris
funny.
On their phones.
Dude, Tetris is addicting, man. It actually... I
suck at it. I'm so bad.
You get better at it really quickly when you start playing.
Yeah.
But it like works your brain in a certain way that I like. Like it makes my brain feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's challenging. It makes you think. That's for sure. This one's funny. Most adults who say kids these days have no respect are the same adults who will go out and disrespect the youth.
Wait. Repeat that.
Most adults, my voice is like really, my voice has been gone all day. I apologize if you guys can't hear me. But most adults who say kids these days have no respect are the same adults who will go out and disrespect the youth. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's correct.
Yeah. He goes, and then this is what he says afterwards. Whether it be through disrespecting younger waitresses with rude comments, disrespecting younger workers via thinking they don't know what they're doing because they're younger, or they think they could do a better job, or just being closed-minded in general to the youth. There's so many older people that make. I was just talking to my family about this. That's why it drew my attention. So many older people like make these broad assumptions about younger. I'm like, where are you pulling this from? Like,
they're getting it somewhere.
Right. But like the stuff about like us living in our parents' basements. I'm like, first of all,
no, that's a thing. That's a thing.
What? That people live in their parents' basements?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. But look at the causes of it.
Right.
And then you'll realize why that's happening. Don't just blame it on younger people and say that we're lazy for it. Obviously, we don't want to live in our parents' basements at 24 or 5
Well,
years
I don't know,
old.
man. I don't know about that because I think that
some do.
I think it's a complex issue because I think that, yes, there's like the economic factor there where it's economically. I was just having this conversation with somebody else at work where we were talking about how like the new like buying a house for our generation is like, I don't have any roommates. Like that's like the new like
getting a studio.
Right, like living by yourself is like the new like, oh, I just bought a house. It's like I don't have any roommates. Like that's what it is for us.
It's like a life moment.
So like exactly. So it's like, yes, there's absolutely an economic factor there, but I think that there is also like very much, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I've seen it time and time again. The generation of parents, our parents' age, are enablers, hardcore enablers.
Yes.
And
that's what I'm saying is look at what caused it, you know, like.
But I think what it might be is like they're like empathetic to the fact that they know like their kids are in poor economic conditions, so they give them everything, and so like they condition their kids to think that this is okay, that they're living there. I think that's complex, but I think it's a combination of like the economic factor, but also like the way kids were raised and that like their parents just provided everything for them. Yeah. And so they don't think it's strange to be living in their parent. It's just like the natural progression of things. It's like, of course I'm going to live in your basement.
It also
now.
depends situation to situation. You know?
Yeah.
Like
so that's what I'm saying. It's like you're going to have your group of people that are there because they're saving up for something, but you're also going to have your group of people that are there because they feel like this is the next natural step. Right. 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 It's like time to convert the downstairs of my parents' house into my bachelor bed. Like,
dude,
okay.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, no.
No, get me out. I mean, I love my parents to death, and I'll live near them, but I'm not living with them at this age. You know, they can have their space. That's another thing too. Is like, you think your fucking parents want you there? No. Yeah. They've dealt with you for 18 years. Get the hell out.
I know for a fact that my parents would not want me to be living with them at this point in their lives.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my parents probably would because they miss me because I've been away from home for so long. Yeah. But, yeah, most parents, no. Yeah. They're going to say, get out.
All right, let's do like one or two more and wrap this up.
Wrap this sucker.
Yeah.
Let's see. Da, 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 da.
Okay. Patrick from SpongeBob is the funniest fictional character to ever exist. That's not an unpopular opinion. No, I like that. That is so true, man.
It is.
If you go back and watch, like,
dude, Patrick quotes are the best, man.
Firmly grasp it.
Yeah, yeah. What are they? Oh my God. What's the one with the wrench? The oh no.
Who you calling Dirty Dan?
Yeah. No, I'm Dirty Dan. Oh man, there's so many good quotes, dude. Though, dude. There's so many.
Who are you people?
Yeah. I'm blanking on all the quotes, but there are times when I'm having such a bad day and I'll go on, I'll look up SpongeBob quotes. It doesn't have to be Patrick. SpongeBob kills me too. Yeah. But best show, and kids these days with the cartoons that they watch, you are seriously deprived. Because that was the best
I don't know.
show.
I like some of the cartoons that kids watch these days.
I'm sorry.
Like Adventure Time, like it's so trippy. It's so crazy.
Fine, but let's talk about Rocket Power. Let's talk about SpongeBob. Let's talk like we had.
Well, it's so different.
Yeah,
it's kind of strange, right? And I feel like
it's very different.
That like the cartoons that kids watch like very much have an impact on like, because it's like the media that they're intaking, right? So it has an impact on how they function. And so I'm curious, like,
well, I'm thinking about that
and now like the kids these days are so strange.
Well, think about Adventure Time and the attention span with that show.
But that's what I'm saying.
Makes
it's like
sense. Like Rocket Power had like a through line through the whole episode.
Right, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
One thing.
There's narratives. There are like clear narratives. But now Adventure Times are like about blobs.
Right.
Blobs like doing strange things that don't make any sense whatsoever with no structure.
And these kids will watch it for hours.
And that's a lot of cartoons. It's not just Adventure Time. It's just very, very strange.
It's most of them.
And it's interesting. I like the cartoons. But for kids, like I wonder how that's gonna like affects their brains.
And it definitely does.
In some capacity, sure. I just wonder if anybody's thought about that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they have.
Yeah.
I hope they have, because it's going to, I mean, kids watch more cartoons now than they ever have, so take that into consideration when you're making cartoons, people. Yeah. Cartoon makers. People who jump into animal zoo enclosures should be the ones who get shot. I mean, I don't know going that far, but.
No, but.
Come on, I hate that shit, man. Like and then the lion or whatever kills him, and then the lion gets killed. It's like, okay, I guess you have to do that for publicity, but are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean,
are you kidding me? You knew very well what could happen to you jumping in there.
Yeah,
you know,
right? Absolutely. I mean, it's not
the animal's fault. It's a fucking animal. You're treating it like a human. Right. It's an animal. It has no idea what's going on.
Well, that's just
if you're dumb enough to jump in there, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, don't do that.
Natural selection.
Don't do that.
My friend.
Don't do that.
Darwinism. You got selected. You're out. You want to do one more?
Yeah, hold on. We're going to end it on a good one.
All right.
Let's see if we can find one.
The race to a good one.
Some of these are like, this one is like
that's
saying LOL is the equivalent to saying K, and like in a text.
Yeah.
It's like,
does it have like a lot of upvotes? Like, did a lot of people like that?
I don't know.
It's kind of boring.
I have an unpopular opinion though.
Oh, your own?
Yeah, I have my own unpopular opinion.
Wow, we're gonna come up with original content.
I hate when it like really bothers me when you can tell that somebody texted you something in a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? So like they'll like use lower cases or something.
Like they do it purposely?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's like get over yourself.
Tone has now been a thing that you can like
you can hint at through
text.
The texting medium. Now.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like there are certain signals and it's like you're not fooling anybody.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That happened to me this week and I was like, like that just makes me want to, whatever I'm doing that's bothering you, it just makes me want to do it even more.
Well, it also makes me like not want to talk to you now. Like now I just don't want to respond
well,
to your
it's just so petty.
Yeah.
It's so petty.
Right.
And I would much rather prefer that if somebody is like bothered, then they just tell me they're bothered. Than send like a weird one-word answer or
like
something.
Take a deep breath and be a fucking adult.
But that's what I'm saying.
Build a bridge and get over it. You know, like.
Well, you don't even have to get over it. I don't care if you're upset or whatever. That's cool. Just talk to me about it.
Right.
That's all. That's what I want. But if it's like, because at that point, if you're doing that, first of all, you know that you're sending a signal. Right. It's not. You're being
hoping
discreet.
that they get it.
You think you're being discreet. It's not discreet. That's part of the game.
Though? Because
that's
you're doing. Because
that's
you're doing
part
it
of the
purpose.
social game.
Yeah, but if you're doing it on purpose, then
here's what it is. Really, it's like it gets you. You're allowed to express a message without actually having to say anything.
Right. So
that's
if I came back and said, "Why are you doing this tone time?" No,
but it's right, exactly. But it's so popularized now that like that doesn't really work for you anymore.
Right.
Like everybody knows what the signals and symbols are that you're sending.
Right. Right.
So
right.
It's just like it's just silly to me.
Like when you say hi instead of hey. I fucking know.
Well, not even that. It's not even that. It could be as simple as like people text in a certain way, right? Like so
and
people
when
have
they stray from it.
Right, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden now they're sending one-word answers. It's like, oh, wow, that's not weird at all.
That's so funny, though, because that drives all the way back to fucking Shakespeare, man. Shakespeare did that shit in his plays all the time, and people noticed. He went in iambic pentameter. He had a certain way of writing, and then when he switched it, he'd be like, "Oh, why did he switch that?" You know, that's how you study Shakespeare. Oh, why did he switch? Why is he now in verses of 3? Yeah. And we still fucking do that shit? Are you kidding me?
But with Shakespeare, it wasn't like he was mad at somebody, right? It wasn't like he was like
no, but he would use the tone or the way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's no secret what you're doing.
Right.
It's like it's become like a linguistic thing. It's like when somebody's upset, the style in which they text changes.
Yep.
Like, I think that there's enough evidence probably to do a study on that at this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
that'd be an interesting study.
It would be. That would be an interesting study. I should take note of that. But
yeah, you should.
But yeah. So that's my unpopular opinion. If you do that, don't.
Yeah.
Just talk to the person.
Right.
Like you're not fooling anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fooling a goddamn person.
No.
You're really not. And honestly, it just kind of makes you look petty and...
Well, it definitely doesn't give you a good light. That's for sure.
And, like, what you're trying to get out of it, you're not accomplishing.
No.
You're not, because it just annoys the other person.
Most of the time when you have things to address through text, though, you're not going to get out.
You're just kind of seeking attention, right, at that point, because you just want the person to be like, what's wrong?
Right.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. Oh, don't get me started on that. If something's clearly wrong, and
why would you think something?
That's my next unpopular opinion. If something is clearly wrong,
right?
Like if you're silent and so your partner asks you what's wrong and you say nothing, you deserve to be upset. You deserve it.
Ooh,
you're not helping matters.
No, you're not. No,
I mean, honestly, if you have a partner that's like willing to talk to you and engage with you and say like, hey, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And what you give them is nothing.
Right.
Listen, I get it. I get that sometimes you don't want to talk. Like, people go through phases. It's like, I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, yes.
There's a better way to explain that than saying nothing, it's fine.
Right. They're saying, like...
And that's a different situation, too. Because when you're saying nothing, it's fine, it's because you're trying to, like, pry out more attention, right? Whereas, like, if you're in a mood where you just don't want to talk...
We're not fully boiling yet. We have to turn up the pot all the way to 10 before we can fucking let this out. You know, we're only at a 6. We're just simmering now.
I don't know. To me, it's just, like, people that do that just aren't great at communicating.
No. Well,
that's what it is.
I've just noticed this in myself.
And they like drama, too.
But it's a big thing just in people that texted a lot back when they were kids now have really poor social skills in talking to people.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a reason for it. If you can't like confront someone in person, you know, like that's not, you need to be able to do that.
Right.
Even though we do most of our communication now through phones, young kids learn how to talk to people in person. It's very,
Dude,
very
that's
important.
why I'm so curious about how these cartoons influenced kids.
They definitely do, man.
Because, like, you learned, like, socializing skills from cartoons when you're younger, to some extent.
100%. Think about it, dude. It's like reading a book at this point with cartoons. We used to just read books all the time before TV was the thing. Now all these kids do. I teach young kids. All they do is watch cartoons and play video games.
But they're the weird cartoons.
Yeah.
That's what's so interesting.
Right, and they're the weird video games. So they're just getting weird shit just thrown into their head left and right.
I mean, but things that we've given children have always been weird. Isn't that strange? Like, what? Like, why do we like personify animals for children? Like, that's weird. You know, like there's so many children's shows where it's like, hey, it's Jimmy the Tiger.
Yeah,
it's like, why do we do that?
I kind of get why we do that, though.
I wonder if there's
it's just
like
playful. It's just like oh, like your dog, you know, like then you go home to your dog.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like things that aren't playful in real life. Like there will be like a playful, friendly tiger,
right?
And it's like, okay, like I guess we're just doing that now. Like I guess
teach your kid to go up to the tiger.
Like,
in
look,
the zoo.
let's go swim with Bobby the shark.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is fun.
It's okay, Johnny. You can touch the stingray.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
Not good.
That's what it's kind of funny. Like, just like weird stuff like that and creepy things too, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like we just expand kids' imaginations, I guess.
Like,
that's what
hey,
it's for.
We're going to hang out with Steve from Blue's Clues. Who's Steve? Just some guy
who talks to his dog
who
and
talks
his
to
mailbox.
Yeah, right, exactly. You should be like Steve.
Who's Dora? She doesn't have parents, but she has a talking map.
Yeah.
And she goes to a mountain that she talks to.
Right.
Anyway, 20-somethings. Glad you tuned in.
Seriously, though, dude.
I know. People need to learn how to communicate, and these cartoons aren't helping. All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
That'll be it. All right, people. We're going to start, like we said last week, even though this week we didn't do it because I'm an asshole and I went to Boston. But we're going to start trying to do these things on Thursdays from now on. If you are interested, tune the hell in. Thursday nights, I don't know what time. Just, turn your computer on and leave it on our stream because you have nothing better to do, I guess. See you later,
Bye.
people.